Okay, we're looking at a couple of things that are probably a little unusual for grappling. So one of the things that we're going to do is how we constantly keep pressure. If you look at combat submission wrestling, Eric Paulson and we prefer this type of move, but that's how he teaches it as well, keeping that pressure onto your opponent. One thing when I'm working over here, a couple of things, because their arm is up underneath here and there's a billion ways of having the arm positions, so we're covering one particular small area. We want to get into the ability to have my pressure under here, my pressure here, my body weight on her and so forth, to help identify and use that sensory part of my vehicle, my skin, pressure and direction, to determine where the feet are, to determine where the hand is that's underneath me and things like that. So a little drill that we do is we can close our eyes or keep it open at first, and we're going to reach out here to grab the foot. What I want to do is grab the ball of the foot, so my fingers will wrap here on the inside like that, nice and tight. My elbows slightly bent, so it's here just like that. You want to get used to that. You want to get used to feeling that. Something that you're not looking at, something that you can go to every time. And different people and so forth, you want to train different body lengths, that sort of thing. But always get to that point where my pressure here is just a simple translation of information telling me where this foot is. Okay, all I'm doing is grabbing it right now. I'm not yanking it or doing anything else. The other thing is to grab the hand. You can grab the fingers, you can grab the meaty part of the pinky, which is what we're going to be focusing on, or you can grab just the wrist. Because if you get the wrist, you can work your way down to the other two. What I like doing, if part of the training is just going to the wrist, going to the foot, going to the foot, going to the wrist. You can go back and forth, and you can get that. So eyes closed. You get a sense for that, and you do that over and over, and you get that down. Next, what we're going to do is work with this. We're going to take that one at the wrist. When you have strong people, which are really tight, they're keeping that in there. What you do is you straighten out, and what I'm doing is I'm burying my lats and my shoulders into her face to turn her head out as I straighten up my arm. When I have a straighter arm, that means my tricep at the back here is in a stronger position to work this down. If I've got to go from here with a bent arm, I got to have a whole lot of muscle on this, and mechanically she's going to have a stronger position. She, he, doesn't matter. Whoever is underneath you will have a stronger position. So I need to straighten up my shoulder. Boom, bring that down. And again, the crushing pressure on the face helps work that so that the person is held down. And this is done very fast. It's not done where I sit there and take an hour doing this, where they can bridge, they can put in knees and everything else. That's not part of what the training is. I grab the meaty part of the pinky because I want to work a lock as well. Anytime that you do that, it's like, why would you not want to work a lock? Now, competitions and so forth, you are not allowed to do small joint manipulation. I get that, but that's not what we train for. However, the mechanics for what we're doing works just as well. You just have to modify it for any competition type training. So when you're in here like this and you've done your training, you've got this down, you've got this down, you start getting that sense for it. These are natural. As you flow, you should be able to grab the meaty part of the pinky in the same type of sensory responsiveness. So I'm going to bring that out like this. This hand tucks underneath here, and your standard lock comes into play. Different people will have different flexibility on this wrist. If I go like this and turn this out like that, meaning I'm rotating pinky high lock, and then I'm bringing it up here. That rotation is quite painful for some people. Some people, like our ninja, can barely feel that. So it gets to a certain point, she has such flexibility, you may not have that instant response. Other people, you can bring this in and crank it up this way. You can rotate it into a lock that way. We prefer we prefer this pressure outward so that you have that lock. It's an important pinky high lock. Okay, so that's again, all while you're continuously crushing your partner. Part of this training is being able to receive somebody's weight, breathe through it, and work the training that you do while somebody's on top. You may need to give them a break every once in a while, but other than that, this part is her training too. Again, I'm not doing the very light type of stuff where she would love, because there's no pressure on her whatsoever, or minimal pressure. We do the pressure that, boom, you're just setting the earth on top of this person. And then you're working your routines. Next one that we're gonna do is this sense for finding this. I'm going to secure the foot, and I'm going to pull the foot in as I press my elbow down into the IT band. Okay, so that's part of it. You have to be really careful. I have to stress this. You will blow out somebody's knee if you start cranking this fast. An inside to outside knee rotation will tear their meniscus. It may tear their ACL. There's lots of things that you just don't want to go fast and hard with. If you're doing competition, you're doing street for life. In life, you don't care. Survival is the biggest key. So this particular case, when I'm going through here and I grab this, I cannot just grab this with a straight arm, because I'm going to be in trouble. I always have to have, in all of my training, whenever I'm grabbing for this or grabbing for this, I have to have this mentality with a bent arm, and my elbow digs into the thigh a little bit, so I get that pressure, and I'll be bringing it back like this. So you get that. That's the first stage. Second stage is as I'm doing this, boom, and that's comfortable, and I've got this, and I've got this bend in the arm and the elbow digging in. That's when I switch out. This foot comes over the top. Now I'm pressing either here on the thigh, or I'm going to slightly press on the calf. Again, this should be a second hand or a third hand. You should be able to feel as well with your feet as you do with your hands. So I'm cranking this out. I'm going to dig my thigh in here as well, so that she's really focused on this. And again, you can tear out their joint here, so be very careful. If that's your goal, then you can probably accomplish that very quickly. But part of this is this pressure on this thigh. Because what I'm doing right here, where my foot is, you watch what my foot does now. We're gonna switch out to a calf slicer. I'm gonna just go like this, grab the top of the foot. You'll see how I did that. So I went from here, that slid down at the same time as I grabbed, nice and deep. But we're not done yet. There's a 2-for-1 sale here. So as I get this pressure, this is a lot of pressure, it's a lot of pain on the person, I'm gonna come up underneath there like that. So that's where you get the major force on this pressure. So I've got the top, we go from here, I'm gonna go nice and slow. Pressure, sensing, get this in play. Start to crank as I switch out my hips. I press down so I can feel where the leg is and the calf is. I switch out. I drop down below. I grab here. My head is low. If she fires a knee and my head is up, I should have gotten hit. You want your head low. Because what happens is I'm also putting my chest pressure here, so it's harder for them to bridge you. If I'm up like this, trying to do this, she's gonna just bridge me, pop me up, and there's no problem. So pressure, I grab that, we've got it. I see this little pocket right here. If you take a look, this hand is gonna shoot right in and grab that. So I'm causing pressure, a lot of pain, and then it's not over for them. I just grab the top of that. And you can see the pressure in here. At this point, you might have varying success getting in deeper, but this is a calf slicer. It's pain compliance. If you do it well enough, you could break this under certain stresses, but this person's going to move eventually. But you'll get that in there, and some people will tap right off the bat on that. And it doesn't matter at that point, because then you can take the leg and you go to knee bars and everything else. Okay? I hope that helps you, and if you have questions, please put it in the comments below. Again, we'll do it slow from that side. Get the sense of pressure. Get the sense of where the hand is. Get the here. Dig. Slip. Dig. Slip. Not under. Some people will go under. You will not have the same strength as you will if you go on top. Top gives you some good pressure. If I go under, I will not have the same strength. This is an opening position. All she's got to do is roll the foot and the fingers will open up. If I go on top, it doesn't matter if she rolls her foot. Then I get the knee if I want to go for the knee bar and things like that. That's a nice dig. That's a nice dig. I can put my pressure on her head as I'm doing this. So what I'll do is I'll shoot the knee out this way and I'll literally press my back against underneath her jawline and press. So it's a neck. So if you take a look at the top part, these are the little subtleties if you want to throw these subtleties in there. So as I'm forcing this out, again, she's really got something to think about. I'm gonna press right here, my shoulder blade and so forth go under the jawline to work to pop her head off. My pressure is here, so it's harder for them to bridge. It's key. She gives me a problem with that, so I'll just grab to this one and do the same thing. I can go back and forth between those. So a lot of this is that a lot of this is that the control and the body feel. So again, any questions, please write them in the comments below. Thank you. I decided to do the knee bar. So we're in here, we're tight. Got all your practice done. Got this. Place that into play. Secure the leg as you're going through. Secure here. My head is on this side in case the knees. Always remember that. I don't want to be anywhere where this knee can hit me. I want to stay down tight. Got this secured. This one shoots through. I've got a lot of pressure here. She'll feel from my rib cage onto her right now, and I'm being fairly nice. Post. My knee will shoot through. My knee will go right across her body and then thrust forward with the entire shin bone into here. So as we get to here, I will pull up. This will be a nice grind as I go through. Right there, nice and deep. The entire time, this pressure is immense. I'm being nice now because I was killing her already with it. So, posting through here, shoot through. So I want this curve of the foot to be trapping right here. And if you do it well, you can get the shin bone right on the thigh. And that causes a lot of, because of your pulling back and you're driving the shin through, causes a lot of discomfort on your opponent. As I get to this point, I'm dropping back, securing this. She's already in pain because of my shin bone underneath there. So I'll try to relieve that pressure. It's hard to do, but if I'm like this, I bring this all the way to the top. Once I get to the top like this, I cap it and go like this. And that secures the knee bar. Okay, so we're gonna go a little faster. So, got this. Feed it, secured, nice and tight. Dig through, post, shoot through like this, like that. I was relieving some pressure on her so that it wouldn't be so painful through that, but my entire process doing that is very painful. The whole thing is just like a massive discomfort that the person is going through. Okay.